I woke up this morning, not used to this feeling. There's nothing standing in my way no more. The sun is still breathing, the sea is...
Rock City Networks and The Push coming to you from Face the Music 2010, and joining me, CEO of Music Victoria, Patrick Donovan, and Michael Parisi from Michael Parisi Music. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, really good.
Good, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while since I've seen you last, Mr.
Since
Donovan.
I've got on the couch, yeah.
Yeah. And how is everything going at Music Victoria?
Yeah, it's pretty full on, but it's really exciting, and the stars are aligning a bit, and hopefully after the next selection there'll be a big package for contemporary music, and I'll be in a job for a few years there, so yeah, we can chat about that sort of the details a bit later, but there's going to be
another time,
a lot of
yeah.
opportunities for contemporary music, and it's just great to see the government taking music being taken seriously at the policy level.
It's good. It's good. Now, Michael, we've seen you recently at the One Movement Festival, and you've gladly donated your time, as has Pat, to come down here for Face the Music.
Well, this is my first Face the Music event, and as I was saying in my talk with Paddy, I like giving free advice to young people. I like the whole idea of mentoring. I think we need it as a business, as an industry, particularly in this state. The idea of dispensing wisdom to kids is exciting for me. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, how did you find being interviewed by an industry peer, and how did that how did the flow work?
The only thing missing was a bottle of vodka, really. Because me and Paddy have these great long lunches where we debate and philosophise and talk shit about the industry, and it was good fun, and it was like you're sitting with a mate talking about music. It was. Having said that, though, it was a G-rated version, and we could have gone. We could have told some more stories, but not for the kids.
Yeah. Look, the way I sort of explain my relationship with Michael is he was the only music industry heavyweight to actually invite me into his office and play me the early demos from his acts.
Yeah.
And let's just say 2 of those acts ended up on the front page of The Age on Saturday with over 1 million readers. So, that sort of goes to show, obviously had some good acts there, but just involving, the media early on, I think it's a big sort of lesson that can be learnt there. It makes you feel important hearing them early on, but a song like Sweet About Me by Gabriella Chilmi, it's obviously a hit. And so I could word up my editors early on and say, this could be a big story. And they both ran on the front page of The Age. So, we've got a really good relationship there.
There was three, wasn't there? There was Jet Iggy as well. Which was on the on the masthead. Is that what you call it?
The only problem is once The Age runs something on the front page, the Herald Sun don't touch it. So got to weigh all that up. But
Yeah, it's an interesting business, different print publishing and sort of content delivery services. Sometimes if you go with one, you can't go with the other.
That's like TV and radio to a certain extent. I mean, the TV wars between Channel 9 and Sunrise and Channel 7 are ridiculous. Like, just sheer stupidity. Like if Channel 7 have, Gabriella on Channel 9 won't touch her. It's like, get over it, guys. It's your breakfast TV. You've got 3,000 people watching you. Get real.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're diverging, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what were the main discussion points for you in your chat this morning or this afternoon, and sort of where were you leaning towards giving information out to the kids out there?
It was basically Paddy it was basically a chronological history of what I've done, and in between, Paddy was asking some insightful questions about where the industry's going, what I think of certain artists, and how you actually play the game, and I really enjoyed it. It was. I even surprised myself with some of the stories that I was remembering as I was being interviewed. So it was good fun.
And lessons learned from each experience.
And lessons learned from each experience, which is important for the kids to understand and learn about. It was really enjoyable. It was a really good interview, I thought.
Excellent. Now, respectively, Michael first. What's happening with Michael Parisi Music at the moment? What's the big news?
I've got some very big news which I can't say yet on camera, which I'll talk to you about over a beer at some point. But I'm just going to continue doing artist development. I've got a couple of exciting acts on the roster. I'm going to get more involved. I'm going to get back into the business proper. There's an opportunity coming up which I'm going to accept, I think. But the main thing is also be working with young artists, all the way.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, Paddy, I know there's so much to talk about with Music Victoria. Is anything sort of you can throw out there? Any bullet points? Anything specific?
Well,
right now?
I suppose there's a few policies being sort of put forward by the Labor Party. One of them is a music hub, which would be a music equivalent to the Wheeler Centre, which has been really, really good for literature you know, Melbourne got registered as a city of literature by UNESCO, and so it's a big deal. And they have really interesting curated sort of exhibitions and readings and all that kind of stuff. So we're hoping if that gets up, that we'll obviously have a home there, but so will the Push and Air. We're hoping there might be some incubators for all the micro businesses. You know, so many businesses in music are just one or two people, and they could really do with some support and some mentoring. So we're hoping some of the small businesses could get in there. We're hoping there'll be a stage. We're hoping there'll be curators putting on interactive shows like the really good exhibitions up here. You know, we don't necessarily want it to be some sort of stagnant, sort of old-fashioned Hall of Fame, but then again, there is the ARIA Hall of Fame, but where is that Hall of Fame? You know, maybe it should be somewhere, and maybe it should be in Melbourne. And if
Like a physical presence.
yeah, look, if Molly wants to donate, you know, and Michael Gadinsky and you know, and Brian Mannix and want to donate all of their old, you know, satin jumpsuits and all that kind of stuff, there'd be a place for that. Kylie's shorts.
I'm sure Molly's got a Marilyn Monroe dress sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
Or a Millie Minogue satin dress.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
better putting it somewhere, you know, than just lying around in mothballs. And, you know, it'd be a tourist attraction, and also all the kids at lunchtime, you know, if it was in the city, you know, you'd be able to come in and remix one of your favourite songs and learn about how to do music. So we're really excited about the idea of there being a music hub.
Fantastic.
And while some people might say it's a waste of money, you know, it's actually a symbolic thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like people, as soon as they come into the airport, they get, you know, there's this guide to music in Victoria. You know, City of Melbourne and state government and Tourism Victoria is starting to sell, you know, music, and live music in particular is one of the real, you know, real attractions of Melbourne.
It's a big feature of our culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and we shouldn't hide it, and we should encourage it more. And as I said in my talk, you know, it all starts with these kids, and I hope to God that the government do get serious about, you know, music policies or music development in schools. That's where we start. That's where we our formative years is where we learn about ourselves and as people. So it's crucial that the government gets involved in that on every level. You know? But it's exciting times, I think, Paddy, particularly for Music Victoria.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And Face the Music's really important, and the Push in general, because, you know, the environment's changed, and there's a new sort of set of rules, and, you know, we've got to adapt to it. So, you know, kids are always want to get into music. You know, it's one of those fun jobs, and it is fun, but it's hard work, and you know, you really have to sort of know what you're doing, and you know, that's why people are passing on their advice, and you know, there's music academies out there, and there's, you know, weekends like this, so you know, that's important. But you know, we're really hopeful. We're looking at locking the future for the next, you know, few generations with you know, the liquor licensing laws and funding at the moment, and some projects that, you know, we've helped write some policy with the government, and if that gets up, there's going to be basic opportunities for every level of contemporary music, and setting it up for absolute, you know, generations. And we don't want to lose our mantle as, you know, the live rock capital.
Yeah. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to ask you both, gentlemen, is what you give out a lot of information, and a lot of people walk away with some great stuff, especially just from your experience alone. Is there anything that you take away specifically from these kind of events and conferences yourself?
Yeah, I just, like, on the way up here after the talk, I had, you know, like 3 kids ask me, you know, fantastic questions. And they're always forever. Kids are always thinking about things differently to us as adults. We touched on that in the talk today about the fact that how do you keep up with trends. I find that coming to these events, I keep up with trends by asking kids, you know, simple things like, where did you find out about that band, or how are you promoting your artist? A young manager, you know, like there's some great young managers here. How are you promoting your acts these days? You know, so I learn as much as probably they're learning off me. You know, because I'm still learning, and anyone who says that, you know, they know all about the business is kidding themselves. You know, I'm 23, 24 years in, and I've still got a lot to learn. And these events inspire me as much as, you know, it probably would for some young kid, you know, coming to, you know, an event for the first time. So yeah, it's great. I really enjoy coming to these things. Really.
And yourself, Paddy?
Oh, look, that's the first one I've done. I had a meeting with the Indigenous music community this morning, because we're a member of AMI, the national network of associations from all around the country, and we basically just sat around and asked them how we can help and what they're after. Indigenous music around Australia, and so we got some really interesting things out of that, and we'll take that to sort of the AMIN board and try and you know, put through a couple of projects here. So, you know, there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of talk, and you know, ask me in a few days, I'm sure I'll have a few more answers.
Great. All right. Well, gentlemen, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I know you're busy. Thank you very much for sitting on the couch and having a chat to us here at Face the Music. It's Michael Parisi from Michael Parisi Music and Patrick Donovan. from Music Victoria. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time, and I'm sure we'll bump into you again soon.
will.
It's Rock City Networks from and The Push from Face the Music 2010.